raised me in many ways. You know, taught me how to read, walk, freestyle. So I was a hip-hop artist before I was a poet. But one day, so Jay-Z had just dropped this album. I'm going to get to the poem in a second. So Jay-Z had just dropped this album called Rock La Familia. It was 2001. And all of a sudden, the whole culture of my middle school changed. Like, all the raps were about like crack and mistresses. And I don't know why. I didn't know what a mistress was. I was 11, deeply confused. One day I tried to jump into Cypher, but you know, my bars were about like earth science and nobody cared. And so it drove me to poetry. And back to my older sister, it was awesome. It always made me feel like whatever I was, not only was it enough, but it was in excess of enough. It was really cool. And sadly, she had to bring me on dates with her because she was so often, you know, left with the task of babysitting. So I distinctly remember like pizza dates when my sister just had me tagging along. And so this poem, a big part of it is she goes to this house party and she brings me along. When I was a kid, I would practice choreography incessantly. That's all I would do. So even, no matter what the song was, I would just break out like all kinds of choreo and I just practice in the mirror. And it didn't, like, no matter what the beat was, I just started doing that. And so, this is a Boogie Down triptych. 1. In search of an escape route from this body, I stood face to screen with MTV for 3 hours a day, hoping the choreo would leap into my pores, jumpstart this melanin as if by osmosis. Bobby Brown was my groove grammar. I could not yet spell the word prerogative, but I could follow its flux when the beat dropped, clear the floor like a crime scene once that second chorus gripped my feet, twirled them counterclock, crowned me kinesthetic genius. 2. The year is 1996. My older sister sneaks me into a South Yonkers house party, and my rendition of the Tootsie Roll will become local legend. I was half man, half metronome. I was collard greens and Crooklyn and too cool for cargo shorts. Sophomores asked, where did that kid come from? And meant it in a good way. Like they had just discovered a new life form and wanted credit for the find. This was the high point of always, the shiver that said, my body is here, and it has something to say that is too holy for speech. Nowadays, my bones cannot remember how to translate the rest of me. The stage follows me everywhere, less like a little brother, more like a rumor. This skin is a magnet for shame, and my lover loves to dance the same way I love to play point guard or sing Marvin Gaye. Fenceless, full of flame. When the DJ starts to pray, she is live wire exalting, and I am well composed. Bad as I want to be, because I trained to be, because I bought this rhythm young and had too high a price, earned it with hours of sweat and double time and double clap, church pew jump kick split if the hi-hat comes in right, when the organist goes all the way left, all the way out of his body like breath, and we all fall down. Happy Ash. The point stands. There is always an audience. There is no such thing as private joy. 3. You invisible everywhere but here anyway. Anything unmoving is dead space, and you're not about that life anymore, remember? You remember how it felt to be background noise, gargoyles, moss,